What's up guys, welcome back to the infamous project. Today is going to be something a little bit different, not Fox body related. It's going to be something else just as exciting, because technically it is still a 5-liter V8, and it is my 2003 E39 BMW M5. So for those of you who might have been following along with my social media, I bought this car about 10 years ago when I first moved to the Middle East, and this is one of my bucket list cars in terms of ownership. It's something that I've always wanted, and I actually found the car before I even moved out there. So when I was doing all my planning and everything else, I was cruising on the BMW Club UAE forums when forums were still a big thing, and this car was listed for sale. So when I moved there, I got in contact with the guy and we went back and forth a little bit. You know, I got the car inspected. It was the first time buying a car in the Middle East. It was the first time buying an E39 M5, so I wanted to make sure that I was buying a really good car, which in turn it's proved to be probably the favorite car that I've ever owned, more so than my Fox bodies, more so than the Ferrari F430 and everything else. So what's really unique about this car is that it's actually a true HAMANN built car. So in terms of all of the HAMANN parts, it has the whole HAMANN body kit. So that's the front splitter, the side skirts, rear splitter. You can see the 19-inch HAMANN wheels on there. It has full HAMANN exhausts, long tube headers, the mid pipe section that had high flow cats, those have been cut out, and then the HAMANN mufflers and the tailpipes that curve upwards in the back. So I got the car. Looks very much the same way. I haven't done too much. It did come with stock E39 rims when I first got it. I don't know what happened to the original HAMANN wheels, so I picked these up. They were actually out of California, and it was one of the first modifications that I did. Other than that, the car already had Bilstein PSS9 coilovers installed, so overall it was a really nice driving and sounding car. So you can just sort of see a little bit of the tailpipes back there. Kind of cramped for space, but I'm sure you can look at a lot of other pictures that I have on it. Interior super clean, so it's a Mola red on a black and a Mola red interior, and even has the 2003 cell phone technology in the center console, but super clean. It had 108,000 original kilometers when I bought it, so now it's sitting at about 156. So going back to the mods, one of the first things that I did, aside from putting the true HAMANN wheels on, was making more power. And at that time, RK Motorworks had some kits that they had designed specifically for the E39, and I went ahead and picked up this kit. So it's got a Vortex supercharger with, you know, the RK bracket. I opted for all of the carbon fiber piping to keep things cooler underneath the hood, and this really nice carbon fiber plenum. Now, this guy was a little interesting in the beginning. I actually went through 2 of these just from the boost. It was just creating too much pressure on the center point here, and I actually blew 2 of them up. That's why my hood sound dampener underneath there is hanging down by its last thread. So got the kit, got that installed. It's on an Evolve tune that has been dynoed. So the car makes 541 horsepower to the wheels, about 650 to the crank, and that's on 8 pounds of boost. So it's a really fun car to drive, makes a lot of power, and recently I've noticed that underneath a lot of load, the car is starting to flutter a little bit, and well, the spark plugs need to be changed. I've already taken out the cabin air filter boxes. There's one on each side. The one thing about the E39 M5 is everything is very symmetrical. You know, everything from the intake to the throttle bodies. You could pretty much cut the motor in half, and everything on this side is the exact same as over there, because normally this air inlet would go this way to an air box. Similarly, same thing on the other side. So air boxes are gone. That's to make room for the supercharger and all of the piping. And what's interesting about this kit is that they actually designed it to accommodate for extra cooling. So you can see that I have 2 additional SPAL fans in the front, a large SPAL fan in the rear with this fan controller, and it works really well. So well that I can't even get the thermostat to open up here in Canada. I also have an oil cooler that is hiding behind the oil, or the intercooler there rather, and the oil cooler goes up and connects into this oil filter housing, which I've already loosened off. So the reason to have this loosened off in the cabin air filter boxes is to be able to get the covers, the coil covers off. So I managed to do so. I was kind of scared, not knowing if I'd have to take some more brackets and everything else off, but it looks like I'll be able to access all of the spark plugs just fine on both sides here. So one thing is about the German engineering is things do look more intimidating than they really are sometimes. So, you know, this kit, I actually installed it in the driveway of where I was staying in Dubai. So if some of you had watched some of my older videos, I actually installed this kit in the driveway of where I was staying in Dubai with basic hand tools that I had shipped over that were in the back of my Lightning. So it wasn't that hard to get everything, you know, installed and done. I guess, you know, at the same time, a little bit of experience on installing superchargers definitely did help. But that's it, guys. So gonna dig down, gotta pull off each one of these coils, pull the plugs out, and go ahead and get these new plugs installed. And hopefully that'll be the last item to tick off the box on this before it goes away and is in storage for winter. Alright guys, here's 2 of the plugs. Like I said, they're pretty old. These are about 40,000 kilometers in, which is quite a bit for boost, so good on them for lasting this long. Looks like everything is running pretty good though. You know, there's no oil on there. They don't look fouled or anything like that, so just going to go ahead and replace these with the same spec. If you guys are wondering which spark plug I'm running, these are NGK Platinums BKR 6E QUPs, laser platinums. So as you guys can see, I'm on the last cylinder on the driver's side here. A little bit of a pain to get in to the wiring back there, but so far so good. It's actually really not that painful when you think about it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Taking my time. You know, making sure that everything is coming off nice and easy, putting that dielectric grease onto the spark plugs, torquing them down. I'm torquing them down to about 18 foot-pounds, and that's it. So I'm gonna wrap up this side, get over to the other side, and fire this thing up, and hopefully she'll be running as good as new. Alright, plugs are done, started up, moment of truth. So there you have it, guys. Spark plugs are changed. Car seems to be running good. Gonna go take it for a little blip down the road, make sure there's no misfires. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but my air fuel ratio gauge here, the wideband, is searching. I'm not sure if a wire is disconnected or what's going on there. I do have some lights on in my dash. Brake pads are getting low. I don't have my belt on. There is a check engine light. It's nothing serious. I forget what the actual sensor's for, but yeah, it's no big deal in terms of drivability. So not going to do anything too crazy here. You can hear the blow-off valve. So with the car not warmed up, don't want to drive too aggressively. Here we go, guys. Little test drive down the road, making sure there's no misfires or misbehaving. Car's running flawlessly. Those low RPMs, there's no more missing or fluttering like the car's struggling. I probably should have changed the spark plug sooner, I'm not gonna lie. Plugs are done now. Car's pretty much ready. Gonna go ahead and just do a few detailing things and everything else to get it ready for winter storage, and then enjoy it again in 2021. Little intermission from the Fox bodies. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this segment of the M5. If you're curious to know what it sounds like doing some pulls and all that, there is a dyno video of the car and actually a couple pulls that I was doing in Dubai before the supercharger was installed. So this is my 2003 e39 M5 HAMANN edition RK supercharged M5.